Clarence is from Aurora, Colorado, and is winner of numerous speech and poetry contests throughout the state of Colorado, and he will be delivering an original poem that he has written for this special occasion.
All right. All right.
Now, before I begin, I would like for you all to consider this poem as food for thought. Nothing more and nothing less. Please and thank you.
Amen. Yes, sir.
Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. It has been 48 years, 4 months, and 19 days since Dr. King too had a dream, yet after half a century, we are still struggling to figure it out.
Right.
Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. In this dream consisted of unity, trust, pride, and the ironic symphony of brotherhood that frustratingly fumbles from the grasp of our confused fingertips to slip into the hands of some other malevolent forces. And we have seen these forces so many times, we let it fly over our heads and our minds and beyond our consciousness that we have now accepted it as a daily occurrence. It is now acceptable to run away from that burping, crying thing that we call a child. It is okay to be uneducated with a dropout rate of 47%. It is now acceptable to let drugs and alcohol be your escape from drugs and alcohol. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. In this dream consisted of economic, sociological, societal, psychological, physical, mental, and financial equity to relieve ourselves of that unseen and well-known struggle that has been suffocating our pride at the throat for nearly half a millennium. That's 500 years, with the first 100 being Jumbo, Abarigani, Ikukulanji Figanaona. The next one being, yes sir, Mr. Master Sir, I'll get that done for you right away. Then the next era was, I have a dream, but by any means necessary. And then we had power to the people, right on, assalamu alaikum. But where are we now? Hey, I won't do well in school because some rapper said that was cool, or I'll disrespect this girl because I no longer see her as a beautiful black queen, or a reflection of my mother, but because I see her as a sexual thing. I will lose my mind over narcotics and alcohol because I see all my friends doing it. My father wasn't there to tell me not to. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. In this dream consisted of motivation, determination, self-improvement, and the ever-changing, unattainable pursuit of happiness. And this pursuit has rendered itself unrealistic and as a lost cause because those pursuing it lost their cause in the notion of shame, regret, and forgotten desires. So now, the only way to retire is by pulling on the legs of those that dangle above you. Yet, like infinitesimal crabs in a bucket, we continue to snap and pick at each other with verbal assaults and communicative altercations. We got brown paper bag club saying, you must be this light to get in, this dark to stay out. Sorry, it's house Negroes only. If your vocabulary is fluent, then you talk white. If you speak with ebonics, then you are country. You look too African, you look too mixed, you have good hair, you have bad hair. Chickaboo this, Uncle Tom that. While we crabs continue to hold each other down in this bucket, Willie Lynch becomes the cornerstone of our culture. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. We earn 62 cents for every white dollar. Free at last. We are 13% of the U.S. population, yet the majority of prisons are populated by us. Free at last. We have the highest national unemployment average of nearly 30%. Free at last. 70% of all African American births are to single black mothers. Free at last. We are one race of people, yet we account for nearly 44% of all HIV and AIDS on this planet. Free at last, free at last. Are we really free at last? No. Consider this food for thought. A revolutionary named Marcus Garvey once said,
yes, come on.
Up, you mighty race.
All right.
And you may accomplish what you will. And we truly are mighty. We are the only race on this planet to have survived 500 years of genocide.
All right.
Free at last. As slaves, we took scraps of food and called it soul.
Come on.
Free at last. After the lynchings, the beatings, the rapings, the bombings, we still hold our heads high and call each other black kings and queens.
All right.
So, in the name of King X, Meredith, Davis, Douglas, Garvey, Marshall, the Panthers, Parks, Tooth, Tubman, 9 students, 4 little girls, Teal, Muhammad, Shabazz, Kente, Farrakhan, West, Newton, Seal, Buffalo Soldiers, the boycotts, Hughes, the revolution, and in the name of you. Up, you mighty race. So we will be free at last, free at last. I know one day, my brothers and sisters, we will be free at last.
I'd like to introduce our presenting sponsor, State Farm.